So week 3, video number 3, and we're starting at slide number 9. So you're going to need to communicate this new plan to internally to your staff and externally to your customers and your clients. And depending on your audience and what it is you're communicating, some of your communication will be verbal and some of your communication will be written. And you might present the information differently depending on the audience. So hopefully a lot of this is review from communications classes, ITSE class. Remember when you're communicating verbally that you need to think about the way your message is going to be received is going to depend a lot on your pitch, your tone, your pacing, your volume, as well as the nonverbal communication. I will fix this. The way you deliver things. So I made a hotspot activity. I don't know if you remember doing this if you were in my ITSE class. So click on this and you can review different forms of nonverbal communication to keep in mind to ensure that your message is delivered with confidence and assertiveness, even non-verbally. The other things you want to make sure are that you organize your information, your message, so it's understood. So you organize it clearly. And if it's a conversational message that you're just giving them a quick overview, maybe you're going to have a conversation and follow it up with a formal email, because the email will be evidence of a decision that's been made or information that's been communicated to staff. So that's why we typically email is a formal the organization's way of formally documenting that you've been sent this information and you should understand this information and you need to act on this information. So it's communicating a decision, kind of like a motion in a board meeting. So do some of these activities, pause, and make sure you understand what I mean by clear words by completing this little activity, okay? You've delivered some information. If you're receiving the information, make sure that you be mindful of how you receive verbal communication to demonstrate that you're hearing things and that you've heard things correctly and maybe rephrase what you hear. Okay. It's the speaker's responsibility when we're communicating verbally to verify the listener understood, which is kind of weird, isn't it? So, you just gave them the message. How do you know if they understood it? So you want to prompt them. Do you understand what the next steps are? And get them to give some feedback to ensure that they understood what you want them to do, what direction. Throughout this course, you'll often hear me talk about clear communication. Please read this excerpt from the Ted Glenn book called Professional Communication in the Public Sector to help you understand that clear communication is more than just the choice of words. It's the layout, the font, the white space. Okay, so take a pause and do that. We'll do an activity in class if you're participating in the synchronous class on Monday so that you can practice your verbal communication skills. Okay, and that's what these slides are about. I'm going to pause here and then we'll continue with written communication.